Hey everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of You're on the Scope. We are continuing our countdown to 2017, which is only a few hours left. And on today's episode, I want to do for you guys my top 10 movies of 2016. Now, there were a lot of amazing movies, a lot of movies that I didn't care for, but in general, it was a good year for film. So, I am going to give you my top 10. Now, keep in mind that this is my own opinion. This is not going to have films reflecting Oscar content and worthy movies or based on Rotten Tomato scores. This is just my top 10 absolute favorite movies that I fell in love with when I went to see it in theaters. So let's get on with it. Number 10, Now You See Me Too. Now this movie was so awesome. I loved the first one completely. I thought it was a great new concept for a movie. And part 2 just increases it. I love everything about part 2. I thought it was better than the first. I thought the acting was a lot better. The actors are more comfortable since they've been together. Again, this is their second outing, so they are a lot more comfortable. There's a lot of new twists and turns in this movie. That's why I absolutely loved it. I love the new actress. I thought she brought a new an awesome character to the movie. I love that she's our new romantic interest. She's funny, she's quirky, and she was just perfect. The effects in this movie just keep getting better and better. I thought Mark Ruffalo's portrayal it continues to be awesome. He is my favorite character of the movie, and I love how we get more into his background, his story. And if you guys have not seen this film, I highly suggest you do. It is probably one of the best of 2016. It's a sleeper hit because I did not actually go and see this in theaters. I saw it a couple of days ago. I got it for Christmas, so I was very happy to see it. It is an amazing movie. Lights Out. Now, 2016 was the year for horror movies, and this movie did not disappoint. I love 80s horror movies, and this reminded me so much of one. I love that Teresa Palmer is in this movie. I think she's the hottest girl ever. She's an amazing actress. I really hope that she does get to portray somebody in the DC Extended Universe films because I know she really wants to. So if that can happen, please God, make it happen. Lights Out is just a classic 80s horror type film. And the best thing about this, it goes back. I love possession films. I love like classic demons movies and such. So this movie really brought it back. It is scary. It is emotional. You do see Teresa Palmer's character try and care for her brother and her mother, who has a lot of issues. And this movie from start to finish was nonstop scary. The idea was different, and the effects were nice. X-Men Apocalypse. Now, a lot of people give this movie hate. I really love this movie. I am actually a huge X-Men fan, not much of a Marvel fan, but I do love the X-Men genre. I think that having its own separate universe is good in a way because it's very massive. I think that having it connect with Marvel could give a lot of issues in the future. I know there's a lot of storylines that use the X-Men, but I'm actually kind of happy that they are separate. Whether or not Fox is going to continue to make them, we'll have to wait to see. We have Logan coming out this year, which looks amazing. So hopefully we can continue our X-Men. I love what Michael Fassbender and all the cast have done with their characters. Jennifer Lawrence, you can tell that she's kind of, I want to say kind of getting tired of playing Mystique. I really hope not, because I think she is a perfect part of the film. I love the new cast. I love Cyclops. I love Jean Grey. Nightcrawler was an awesome surprise, and Psylocke was pretty amazing. Number 7. It is another horror movie. This one scares the shit out of me every time, and that is The Conjuring 2. The Conjuring was a perfection amongst a genre that was slowly kind of evaporating. I think that Conjuring 2, excuse me, Conjuring brought it back to its premium status, and Conjuring 2 just continues it. The story is more involved than the first one. I really love how it's set in England. We have it kind of separating off to different places, and I think that's great, so it doesn't always stay focused in it. The one really big surprise that I actually really love in this, and a lot of people know that I am a huge Animeville nut. I love everything about Annabelle. I love reading the files. I've seen the documentaries. I've read the books, and of course all the movies. And I thought it was so awesome having it in this movie. It really brought like this big smile. Number 6, and this one I'm going to get a lot of blame for, but it is Civil War. Now, I like Marvel movies. It's not that I don't like Marvel movies, I just think Marvel movies have gotten to the point where it's more of a comedy-based kind of film, which isn't bad for some characters. Some characters need it. Spider-Man needs it, Ant-Man, and Robert Downey Jr. has done awesome with Iron Man and his comedy. I just think that with Civil War, there was this huge possibility of doing a really dark and epic action movie with superheroes, of course, but I found the movie to be really amazing up until a certain part, and then it kind of gets mixed around at the end. I don't care for the ending of Civil War. For me, the ending of Civil War should have been at the airport where everyone's fighting against each other. I thought that would have been a perfect ending. I didn't agree with having the stuff with Tony Stark and Captain America at the end with Bucky fighting over the parents' murder. People complain about Batman v Superman and the Martha scene. Civil War is a complete copy of it. And like I said, great movie, loved it. Went to see it 2 times. And I love how we finally got us a new Spider-Man, which looks absolutely amazing. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Now, this has everything I love. I have 1800 Victoria style world. I have zombies, and I have the hottest women fighting these zombies. Everything about this movie was just pure awesome. I love how this movie has, you have your damsels who don't have any need for being saved. They are the ass kickers of this movie. They are the main characters. I love how this movie is a romance movie. I love romance movies, and having action, romance, and horror mixed up into one was perfect. There's one scene that still echoes through my mind, and it is the final scene when the horse is running at the end and explosions are coming up behind it over the bridge. And it is such an awesome scene because you can see that somebody actually got injured in filming that scene, the stunt people, and it made an awesome scene, but you do feel so sorry for the horse and the person riding the horse. Very awesome movie. It is highly underrated, and a lot of people have not seen the movie, but I highly suggest you do. Very awesome. Number 4. And I do not understand people's problem with this movie. I am wearing the shirt right now, people. It is Assassin's Creed. This movie is so ripped off of the games that I don't see what the problem is with half these reviews. You got people complaining about stuff. We have people complaining that Michael Fassbender is boring in this movie. This movie was made with Assassin's Creed fans in mind. It's made by the branch of Ubisoft that has so much input in this film, which you can tell. Everything is so ripped out of the video game. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Love the movie so much. And I really hope that we do get to see a sequel that can only improve people. You have to have more than one to improve. So hopefully we get a sequel. It is probably the best best video game to film movie ever created. And I thought that it was highly underjudged and unfairly judged. So I love how everything is set in Colin Lynch's character. We have Michael Fassbender, who is the new assassin Algair, and it takes place in Spain, which is pretty awesome. It hasn't been done yet. And the best thing about it is we have parts of the future telling the story of Colin Lynch, and you have the past with Algair. The only thing that this movie is short on is it kind of crams a little too much into the time frame of the film, which of course is Fox's fault for making it shorter than it should be. But I was highly happy with what I got. The action was absolutely incredible. The chase scenes were so well done. We have practical effects, which isn't used very often anymore, so that was nice. And everything was just perfect about this film. If you guys haven't seen it, please do. It is amazing. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was such an amazing Marvel film. It is probably my favorite Marvel film ever. I love it because of the sorcery, I think. I'm a big guy with magic and sorcery. That's why I love Now You See Me Too. And this film doesn't disappoint. It's funny. It's very serious. We have a character that's a complete asshole who I think that if I actually was that rude to Rachel McAdams, I'd probably shoot him. But it is an amazing movie. The special effects are absolutely flawless. I love the bad guy in this movie. I thought he was so awesome, and the effect with his eyes was absolutely incredible. Like I said, it is to me to date the best Marvel film ever created, and I will be day one to purchase that in stores. Suicide Squad, people. How do you not love Suicide Squad? Suicide Squad is probably one of the most fun movies of the year. I absolutely love all the casting. I think Robert Margaret is absolutely amazing. She is so perfect as Harley Quinn. It's absolutely insane. We have Jared Leto, who is our new Joker, which, of course, in the big screen shoot of it, we did get a lot of scenes cut out, which was sad, but the director's cut really, really helped me along. I love those extended scenes, and everything about this movie was just awesome. I'm a big fan of Enchantress, and I loved how they did her in the movie. Hopefully we'll see more of her in the future. But as a standalone movie of bad guys being the center, I thought they did an absolutely awesome job of it. It's not perfect, but it is an awesome job. We finally have our DC Extended Universe on film, and this can only improve now with Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck kind of taking the helm. Now with Wonder Woman and such, it will be a different experience. These Suicide Squad, Man of Steel, and Batman v Superman were all under another person at the Warner Brothers Studios. So hopefully the next few set of films will actually see higher ratings and more people loving the movie. And as you can tell, we finally got our DC Extended Universe, and I'm so happy. It is Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Now, this movie was perfection. I don't care what anybody says about this movie. This is the best movie of 2016. We have the Bat fighting the son of Krypton. What else could you guys want? This movie was done in a way to not be a typical action blockbuster movie. This was about telling a real story, having an emotional teardown of the characters. We got a kind of cut and paste theatrical release, but the Ultimate Edition really helped it along. I think if you haven't seen it, make sure you see the Ultimate Cut. It is the only cut I'll ever watch again. It puts things in place that was missing from the actual theatrical cut. We have that whole new story with Clark in Gotham, investigating Batman. We have more scenes with Diana Prince. We have so much story that was ripped out that gives the basis of why Batman is going to fight Superman compared to the theatrical. And I think a lot of people will agree with when I say that extended cut is what we should have had in theaters. And I don't care what anybody says, 2016, the best fight scene in any movie is Armored Batman fighting Superman. That 13 and a half minutes was just pure epicness. If you love the Dark Knight Returns comic book, that was so ripped off and is so perfectly done. Say what you want about Zack Snyder, he's a visionary director. I think he is a perfect fit. Whether or not he should do a movie on his own, I'll wait to see that on Justice League. I do think that he should continue with the DC Extended Universe. He knows the material. He's a comic book guy in general, and I just think his movies are different. They're visually different compared to anything I've ever seen before. I do love most of his movies, and I think that he could really, really have a new and experience creating Justice League, and hopefully it does. I'm very excited for next year, and that, guys, is my 2016 list for you guys, my top 10. And as you can see, I'm getting ready for midnight, and I hope you guys have had an amazing year. Thank you for joining me and subscribing to my channel, and I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the new year.